Hi, I'm Laura. I'm 23. Currently, I am the State Director for Oaktree, which is Australia's largest youth-run and development organisation. So really loving the work that I'm doing with that and the people that I'm helping out. The organisation's been around for about, I think this is the 11th year that it's been in operation. And the whole idea behind it is that it's young people building the movement to end extreme poverty. So everyone in the organisation is a volunteer and everyone is under the age of 26. So we really believe in the power of youth and work with youth, obviously, as volunteers within the organisation, but we also really focus on development projects in Southeast Asia that also contribute and work towards empowering youth in those communities as well. We run a fundraising campaign in May called Live Below the Line, and the idea behind that is that you challenge yourself to live on just $2 worth of food a day for 5 days. And for a lot of people, that's really difficult to try and spend just $2 a day on food. But the reality is that people living in extreme poverty, that $2 not only has to cover their food, but also their costs associated with transport, with housing, with feeding their families a lot of the time, with growing and producing food. So often people living in extreme poverty is kind of associated to people who are living in really poor conditions, so potentially don't have access to clean water, food, health, don't have access to a roof over their head. And a lot of the time are people who are obviously trying to support a family and live a happy life as best they can in those conditions as well. The projects that we have in Southeast Asia, we've got projects in Cambodia, East Timor and Papua New Guinea. And all of those projects are focused on youth empowerment and youth leadership and education. So we believe that education is the strongest weapon against extreme poverty. It's the best way to assist someone not only lift themselves out of extreme poverty, but benefit their community as well and assist their communities in that situation. It's really exciting. Road trips are something that Oaktree's done a few times in the past. It's kind of becoming a bit of our trademark. The idea of the road trip is 1,000 young people all coming on the road together, travelling to various towns and cities within Australia, speaking to people in those towns and cities, so actually engaging with members of the general public one-on-one, having those really important conversations, hopefully create a bit more of a topical issue around foreign aid. We want people to be speaking about it. We want people to care about the issue and to want to have input into it. So that's what the road trip's hoping to achieve on one level, is having that social connectedness and engaging people in the conversation. The other aspect of the road trip is that we're really wanting to apply that political pressure out a little bit more from the G20 Summit happening in Brisbane. So we see that as a fantastic opportunity that we're having world leaders on our shores discussing issues around tax and economies of scale. And we're basically jumping on that opportunity. If we can, do something to encourage our world leaders to be talking about that and working towards policies to ensure that developing countries have access to resources, to be able to track that down and make sure that they are being fairly treated. That's what we're hoping to achieve through the road trip as well, is applying that pressure and presenting that to the G20.